Oh, how does it feel, the lucid dream state? So for those of you who had lucid dreams, of course, you'll be aware of this. The lucid dream state is hyper realistic. It feels so real. It's not, in movies, when they do dream sequences in Hollywood movies and they go to like soft focus and dry ice and it's all smoky and it's like, oh, it's a dream. Ooh. That's totally not what a lucid dream is like. A lucid dream is like going from normal definition television to boom, HD, 4K, 3D, like boom. It's like putting spectacles on. If you wear spectacles, boom, everything's in clarity and focus. Things are so bright. Sounds are so, not even loud, just so precise. Taste. Oh, if you get lucid tonight, brilliant dream plan, eat an apple. That's it. Amazing spiritual practice. That will change your perception of reality, eating an apple, because you bite into it and it feels hard. You're like, oh, what? But I know this apple doesn't exist. I know the hand holding it doesn't exist. And then the crunch and the squirt of the juice, you're like, this is nuts. How is my brain creating this? So it's this experience of incredible hyperreality. And yet, in a lucid dream, you can have full awareness of past, present, and future. So if you get lucid tonight, you can be in the lucid dream and go, oh, whoa, this is so cool. I got lucid after the workshop with Charlie. You can think of the future. Oh, I'm going to email him tomorrow and tell him, yeah, I had my first lucid dream. You can think to the past. Oh, what was the exercise we did with dream planning where we decided what we want to do in our lucid dream? Oh, yeah, I wanted to do inner child healing. Oh, I wanted to do my spiritual practice. Past, present, future. Full awareness. Set within this awesome realization that you are inside a three-dimensional hallucinatory reality created by your own unconscious mind. That's why there's life before and life after. Like the first time you experience that, it's like, what? This is literally mind-blowing, which is why the first couple of lucid dreams maybe only last 10 seconds or so, because it's so exciting. And all this stuff, it might sound a bit, oh God, this is a bit matrixy, a bit head trippy. This stuff's good for you. That's the cool thing about lucid dreaming. It's so fun. You're excited to go to bed. You end up getting more sleep because you hear people like me say this statistic. You can double your chances of having a lucid dream by giving yourself 2 extra hours in bed. Not going to bed earlier, actually, but staying in bed later, because the REM periods come at the end of the night, the end of your sleep cycle. So giving yourself longer time in bed. So you have a lie-in. Hit that snooze button for another hour. It's your spiritual practice. I mean, come on, this is brilliant. And it's also really good for you. Very good for your brain, very good for integrating trauma. Powerful spiritual practice within Tibetan Buddhism, goes back at least 1,000 years. Sufism, Toltec Mexica, many shamanic traditions, possibly even early Gnostic Christianity, but jury's out on that. So we know what it is. We know how it feels. How does it work? What's actually happening here? So we're becoming conscious within our unconscious mind. So to use some kind of classic Western psychological metaphors here. The classic kind of iceberg theory of consciousness. It's kind of outdated and it's imperfect, but let's use it just for now. I want you to imagine the iceberg of consciousness. In this classic depiction, the top 10% is conscious, then you've got the water lapping up, and then you've got the bottom 90% is unconscious, and then the ocean in which it floats. Maybe that's the collective unconscious, who knows? If we use the idea of hypnosis or hypnotherapy, which I have a lot of respect for, it's a brilliant practice. In hypnotherapy, perhaps the hypnotherapist takes a strand of the conscious mind and drops it down into the substrata of the iceberg, into the subconscious or unconscious mind, and then plants a suggestion of healing intent, such as I live a healthy lifestyle free of the addiction of cigarettes, for example. And that's brilliant. In a lucid dream, a similar thing is happening. But 2 crucial things. Number one, you're doing it yourself. You are taking your own consciousness down into the unconscious. And secondly, you're going right to the bottom of the iceberg. Why? Simply because you can't get more unconscious than asleep. You can't get more unconscious than asleep. So the depth to which you can go in the iceberg is unmatched. Things like shamanic journeying, yoga nidra, hypnotherapy, psychedelics are brilliant ways of bringing the conscious down into the unconscious, and are great and accessible for many people and work brilliantly, and are actually way more accessible than lucid dreaming because you don't have to be asleep. But because you are still conscious during most of those experiences, the depth to which you can access the iceberg is somewhat limited. In a lucid dream, though, those limits are removed. Boom, you're right at the bottom of the iceberg. So though it might take 2 or 3 weeks or even 2 or 3 months before you have your first lucid dream. The power that you can get through a lucid dream affirmation or induction or healing seems to be even more powerful than the aforementioned techniques. But in no way am I saying that makes lucid dreaming better, because it's far less accessible, because you've got to be asleep and go through the sleep stages and stuff. And all of those things I mentioned, hypnosis, well, I don't know about psychedelics, but hypnosis, shamanic journey, and yoga nidra are brilliant ways of accessing lucid dreaming. So they can all be part of the parcel. So in a lucid dream, you're taking a strand of the conscious mind down at the unconscious, then planting a seed, the seed of physical healing, or the seed of psychological healing, or the seed of embracing your inner child, whatever it is. Now, if that seed flowered and sprouted only within the iceberg of the unconscious, that would be great, because it would mean you're having unconscious processes are changing, and that's great, work is happening. But in the waking state, that conscious bit, you're still working from the same trauma, hasn't quite gone up there yet. However, that's not how lucid dreaming works. In a lucid dream, you plant the seed, and when it sprouts, it flowers into the top part of the iceberg. That's the kind of USP of lucid dreaming, which means, my point is, you don't need to ask, has it worked? If you've done a lucid dream healing or working with PTSD or childhood stuff, you won't need to ask like, oh, I did the lucid dream, has it worked? You will feel it. You will wake up the next day different. It really is that powerful. Like overnight, you can change.